How do you mentioned being a young coach and recruiting, and you're obviously a young coach right now as the head coach. How do you kind of balance being a young coach who relates really well to the players and has great relationships, but at the same time, you do a great job of commanding respect? I think that's, when I was coaching, like, saw the dynamic of, like, it's tough when you're trying to relate to the players so much, but you also need
Yeah.
them to respect you as, like, I'm the authority figure here. We're not friends. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How do you kind of balance that? Even when you were a younger coach, but even now as a head coach.
Yeah, I think when I was a younger, I think it was the hardest when I was a GA
Mm,
and I went to be a, position coach.
yeah.
That was the hardest time because it was, I think when you're a GA, you're still trying to figure out your niche
Yeah.
of how do I command the respect? How do
Mm,
I do that? But you don't have time to do that.
mm,
So it didn't take me very long to figure out like, dude, I know we're close in age, but you're not my boy.
yeah.
Like, we're not going and hanging out.
Yeah.
You're not my
I'm
friend.
Coach Moore,
Like,
not
I'm Coach
Sherrone.
Moore. Don't call me Sherrone. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a respect level there of
Yeah.
that we need to have there. Like, yeah, we can be cool and we can talk about life,
Yeah.
but I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
And I think they have to get that and they have to understand that really early in the process.
Yeah.
But like here, there's enough age gap, but also I think there's just the piece that they understand that I want the best for them, and
Yeah.
that if the best for them is that they need to be disciplined, then I'm gonna do it. Or if the
Yeah.
best for them is that they need to be celebrated, I'm gonna do
Mhm.
that, and I'm gonna put them in the best position that I think is possible, for them to make sure
Yeah.
that all their dreams come true.
Yeah. And I'm sure part of that for you is also just the being honest with all the players,
Yeah.
right? And being straightforward. I feel like so many coaches aren't because of just the business nature of it. But, is there any examples of and come to mind of, like, a tough conversation you had to have with a player? You don't need to say who it was,
Yeah.
but that was like, hey, I had to do the right thing here. Had a tough conversation, and it ended up being a great result from it.
I mean, I think there's a couple, there's players that I've dealt with in the past, there's players that I've dealt with recently that transparency is the best thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't lie to them. Tell them exactly what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, and that usually works out for the best.
Yeah.
Whether it's the best for both of us, whether it's the best for one side, whatever it
Mhm.
is, you just need to be completely honest with them.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're not doing good.
Yeah.
You need to do this. You need
Yeah.
to do this. You need to go to class. You need, like, whatever those things are. I think transparency is the number one thing
Yeah.
that you have to do to accomplish that, and then ultimately that builds the trust that you need.